Hey guys, Batman Loves MC here today, and in my last video I had a question that someone asked me, would I like to see Raging Blast 3 happen, Tenkaichi 4, or a Tenkaichi HD collection? So I thought that was a great question because I really never even thought about that, and I thought it was a good enough question to make it my own video about. So first off, let me just get this straight. I would love to see all three of those. If even one out of three of those happened, I'd be pretty psyched. I'd be really happy. I honestly would almost rather see a Tenkaichi HD collection more than a Raging Blast 3. But then again, I want to see 4 happen too. So I mean, it's kind of almost like choosing your favorite child because I really cannot decide. But if I had to choose out of those 3, it would probably, and then again, I changed this from last night. Last night I said Raging Blast 3 or Tenkaichi 4, but I'm thinking probably maybe a HD collection because I would love to have, Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3 on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Now, not so much on the next gen would I want to see that, just because I don't even know if I'm going to get the next gen consoles right away. I'm going to get them, but not like right away. And I'd rather have those 3 games on my Xbox that way I could play it. So I would love to see that happen. More so than Battle of Z, way more than Battle of Z. I'm not interested in Battle of Z. It doesn't look that good. Those 3 sound way better than Battle of Z. Now, which one do I think is going to happen the least out of those 3? I also got asked that question. If I had to choose which one do I think is not going to happen out of all 3 of those, I'm going to have to go with Tenkaichi 4. And the reason why is because why would they 3 is a fine number to end off something. You don't want to. That's why it doesn't make sense to me why they kept going with Super Saiyan 4. They should have just left it off at 3. So 3 is just a number you pretty much end stuff off at. Now, am I saying it's not going to happen for sure? No. I have no idea whether it's going to happen or not. More than likely, probably not. But I just think that has the least chance of actually legit happening. Now, which one do I think might happen the most out of all 3? Probably the Tenkaichi remake, the HD collection, because they already made a Budokai HD collection, which I don't even know why they did that. They should have done the Tenkaichi. And Raging Blast 3. This is also something that I saw in a video. Raging Blast 3 is the perfect game. Let's just get that straight. It's perfect. It looks pretty flawless from what I've seen. It has everything, pretty much every single character who's ever even appeared in Dragon Ball Z and their mother. So that's just a perfect game. Story mode, amazing. So if they did that, let's say they decided to make Raging Blast 3. How are they going to make a game to top that? It's going to be pretty hard to top that. So I guess it's kind of a good thing they're not doing not Battle of Z, Raging Blast 3. But, we all still want it. But like I said, it's the perfect Dragon Ball Z game, and there's no way they could even top that. So, like I said, I'd probably want to see an HD collection from Tenkaichi, just because I feel like a lot of people forget about those. For some reason, people are saying that those Budokai games are the best games ever. Sure, don't get me wrong, they were great. I didn't like Budokai 2 or 3, and a lot of people are going to be like, what, you didn't like 3? Because some people say that Budokai 3 is the best Dragon Ball Z game ever. That is bullshit right there. Sorry, it is just bullshit. That is honestly blasphemy. That is horrible to even say. No. Yeah, it was a good game for its time, but really, you're gonna say it's the best Dragon Ball Z game ever? You're really gonna sit here and say that? No. And me, I can be able to sit here and say which, in my opinion, which Dragon Ball Z game is the best because I own all of them. I have had every single Dragon Ball Z game ever made up until Burst Limit, because that's when Dragon Ball Z games started getting stupid, was around Burst Limit. So, and I even own Burst Limit now. I just didn't get it till the longest time. I just got it like a few weeks ago. So really, up until Burst Limit was when I stopped getting Dragon Ball Z games. But even right now, I own every single Dragon Ball Z game. I have Raging Blast 1, Raging Blast 2, Ultimate Tenkaichi. And those games are pretty lame compared to the old ones, which I've said multiple times. I think all you guys would agree with me. But you can't sit here and say Budokai 3 is the best Dragon Ball Z game. You just cannot do that. Like I said, it was great for its time. But Budokai 1 was amazing. And in my opinion, it was way better than Budokai 3. Budokai 3, that doesn't even have a story mode. Like, I completely forgot about that game. I really don't remember it. I just broke it out and played it over the summer. First time I've played it since I was in second grade, and I completely forgot about that game. The story mode, there's not even a story mode. Story mode is similar to Raging Blast 2. So the story mode blows. You have to pick a character. Let's say I want to be Goku and go into story mode. I have to be Goku and then go off on this adventure or whatever. It's so stupid. And that's just, there's not even that many characters, which you have to keep in mind. The game was made in, if I had to guess, 2008, 2007. No, not 2008 or 2007, 2006, somewhere around there. It's a really old game, and that's all I can give it, is that it was great for its time. Not that many characters. Graphics suck, but like I said, it's an old game, so that's all I'm going to give it, is that it's good for its time. Now, Budokai 1, that game is a whole other story. Awesome graphics for its time. Awesome story mode for its time. Not that great of a character selection, but it was pretty much the first Dragon Ball Z game, and great game. If you don't have that, you need to get that. Great game. Budokai 2 sucks. I think I've already said this. Budokai 2 sucks. Now, the Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi series, those games, those are the best Dragon Ball Z games ever. Yes, you can quote me on that. I don't think many people will disagree with me when I say that. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was the best Dragon Ball Z game we have had so far. Nothing has topped that. Raging Blast 2 came close to beating it. If it wasn't for that crappy story mode, what is it called, Galaxy mode? If it wasn't for that, it would have been pretty close to beating Budokai Tenkaichi 3. It would have been pretty close, because the characters, there's not as many characters, but there's still some characters we never got to see, like Tarble and a few other characters who they just brought in. So if it wasn't for Galaxy mode, then that game maybe could be better than Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And that's just maybe. So they messed up with Raging Blast 2. There's a lot of messed up things with that game. But it really annoys the hell out of me when people sit there and say Budokai 3 was the best game ever. No, it's not. And Tenkaichi 1, that game is really lame. That's that and Ultimate Tenkaichi are both disgraces to the Tenkaichis. Tenkaichi 2 rocks. I feel a lot of people forget about that game. I know I really kind of forget about it. I played that game more than 3, I believe, because for a while I lost 3 and I broke it, or whatever the case may be. I don't remember. And I had to play Tenkaichi 2, which they're both very similar game. They're pretty much the same exact game if you think about it. They both have a ton of characters, pretty much the same characters. So like I said, they're both the same exact game. Flawless games, perfect games, beautiful games. That's where they really started going hardcore with all the characters. And some people like to say that Tenkaichi sucks, and all it did was have characters, a bunch of characters. If you are going to sit here and say that, you can kiss my ass. I'm just going to be blunt. You can kiss my ass if you just sit here and say that the Tenkaichis weren't even that great. All they had were characters. You can just leave. That is horrible. No. Yeah, sure, that was a great aspect of the game, but you have to remember the story mode rocked. I could keep going on. I honestly could just keep going on with that game. It introduced a whole bunch of different features that we never got to see in a Dragon Ball Z game before, so you can't just sit here and say that all it had were characters. What I hope to see from this new, from those 3 games, like I mentioned, I know I got completely off topic. What I'd like to see in Tenkaichi 4, let's say it does happen, I'd love to see more characters than even Tenkaichi 3, which is going to be hard to do, but I'd like to see that. I'd like to see pretty much a lot of things similar to Raging Blast 3. I don't know how they would even top Raging Blast 3 with that game. It's going to be really hard because everyone, we've got this whole idea in our minds that, we have the picture-perfect game in our minds, and it's going to be hard to get it out. But, so I'd like to see characters, more costumes, a kick-ass story mode, and a few other things, but that's mainly it. Raging Blast 3, if it does happen, which it probably won't. I hate saying that, but it probably won't. If it does happen, I want it to happen like a while from now. I want it to happen maybe like 3 or 4 years from now, so that way we can possibly get an HD collection for Tenkaichis and the Tenkaichi 4. So that's the only reason why I want it to happen a little bit later on, just to have other doors open for new Dragon Ball Z games. And I think some people will agree with me when I say that. So anyways, tell me what your favorite Dragon Ball Z game is. Tell me, in your opinion, which Dragon Ball Z game is the best. I'd love to know. I didn't mention any of the old Game Boy games like Legacy of Goku and Legacy of Goku 2. Those two games are really good. They're for the Game Boy, and I never had Boo's Rampage or Boo's Rage, whatever that was called. I never had that. I think it was basically like Legacy of Goku, but in the Boo Saga. So like I said before, tell me what your favorite Dragon Ball Z game is. I'd love to know. Batman loves MC, and I'll see you guys later.